every movie is different. There's no rule, there's nothing. I've had very lucky, perhaps these are the less frequent ones, very happy times where I've had a month of a couple of hours every other day or whatever in some foreign land preparing an 18-year-old or whatever, or working for 6 months on one job where somebody was playing a real person and going back and forth to Paris to prepare her, and all sorts of things like that. But equally, I mean, there have been times when Hollywood haven't liked what's happening and have suddenly called, and I've gone in mid-term. I mean, you know, sometimes it's literally you've got half an hour to help this person before they go on. Sometimes yeah, I mean, I even had the worst situation in the world once of being taken on. I didn't know this was going to happen. Taken on to a set where the director didn't know I was coming, the actor didn't know I was coming, and the second knocks on the trailer door and says, "Oh, here's Mel, your acting coach." Can you imagine? Actually, we became really, really good friends, and I just went, "Oh, I don't know what they're on about. This is so ridiculous." The director had only really directed animation. Anyway. And didn't know quite how to cope with somebody who was needing help, you know. So I just went in and said, "No, I'm just a shoulder for you to lean on." And blah, blah. Anyway, we got on famously, and it was all fine. But it wasn't the best way, was it, to meet your actor?
It's not ideal,
so,
is it? No.
Yeah.
Is it? So you can be hired by the actor and the director, producer?
I'm very rarely. I'm not really hired by the actor. I mean, occasionally, actually, recently on Victoria, a lovely actor, female actor that I'd worked with, and helped with her self-tape, and got it. And then she said she'd like me on it, but it was also to do with the dialects and things like that. And that was absolutely smashing. But it's very rare. The people that actually pay my money, I can be brought in by the director. That's a very jolly situation, and that. A lot of people like Luc Besson, who likes working with coaches on set and acting coaches and so on, people like that would hire me, and then they're producers anyway, so that's all fine. Occasionally it's the producer, and then occasionally, if it's just dialect, it can be the line producer. That's rare for me. It tends to be either the executive producer. Especially, you see, we forget how it's all changing. These single movies that I'm talking about are almost gone. I mean, there'll still be blockbusters, there'll still be art movies, but mainly it's the box sets. It's the HBOs, the Netflix, the Amazon Prime, the this. And the last one I did in 2014 was that, and it really came home to me how self-sufficient and emancipated an actor has to be, because there was a wonderful executive producer on it, but there is much less of a guiding light. It's actually a whole lot of people who are the writers, who are the producers, who may not have actually been on many movie sets, and then it's 6 directors who just do what they're told, really, because it's like making a commercial. And so an actor can be working on 4 scripts at once, with a crew of 700, in 2 blocks, and if you know what you're doing, like the main actor in the thing I was doing was very experienced, knew what he was doing, knew he was. So if a director said to him, "Hey, could you be a little lighter?" he'd think of his latest mistress. It was that sort of thing, because it was set a period piece. And if it was, if somebody said, "You must be stronger," he'd think, "Oh, the armies are on my border." He didn't have to have a problem. But the people that went empty and didn't know what they were doing and hoped someone would explain to them, and they'd get one director saying this and one director, they were having breakdowns. So it really brought it down to me how important it is for you to work on your role and make choices that you're willing to change, but make some thoughts of your life you've led and what you want and everything, and then tweak it happily as people give you new information. But have that so that you can then be just like any other human. "Oh, I'm having a happy day. I'm having, today things I've got to make sure I get it right," without thinking, "My character wouldn't do this," And then people say to me, "Well, sometimes we don't even know how it's going to end." And I say, "Well, we don't know how life's going to end. I mean, what does that matter?" No. It's just a different mindset, that it's often not even a complete script.
Carry on watching at actors-anonymous.com.